From pirate to pirate, from your home to your home by the sea. Hampton University's newscast, WHOV-TV. Every Thursday in Hampton Roads, we are your voice. You can count on us to keep you updated on all the noise. Nationwide, school-wide, what's trending and what's in the sky. Pirates, this is the only news channel that is just for you. WHOV, the Scripps Howard News Watch starts right now.
Hey Pirates, I'm Brabin Lee Harewood.
And I'm Lathan Dunbar Keys, and you're watching WHOV-TV.
We are your voice, keeping you up to date on all the noise. Tomorrow, Hampton University campus elections are being counted.
Barack Obama speaks out against the Trump administration.
And athlete John Morant is fined $75,000.
But first, it's almost time to find out who's taking the lead next year. The results of the SGA and class elections will be announced this Friday at 4 p.m. in the Student Center, and you do not want to miss it. Yesterday, the Student Center was buzzing as candidates campaigned from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., sharing their platforms, ideas, and passions. At the same time, voting was open via Microsoft Forms, giving students a chance to have their voices heard and their votes counted. These elections shape the future of campus life, events, and student representation. So Pirates, make sure to come out tomorrow to find out who will be your next campus leaders.
Get ready, Pirates. It's time to crown the 24th Mr. and the 68th Miss Hampton University. The annual scholarship pageants will begin this Saturday in Ogden Hall with the Mr. Hampton University pageant, followed next week by the highly anticipated Miss Hampton University pageant.
Never did pageantry before coming to Hampton, but I've been getting really into it since I got here.
I'm running for Miss Hampton to create a family-like environment here at Hampton University for, inclusivity, changing the narrative and environment here at Hampton University as well.
Be sure to get your tickets.
Hampton held an early free screening of the film G20 yesterday in Ogden Hall, and let's just say it did not disappoint. It was a movie full of action, adventure, and even some familiar faces. The movie stars actors like Viola Davis and Blackish actor Anthony Anderson.
It was definitely a very good showcase of Viola Davis and the way that she acted in her role very strongly and portrayed Black women in a very positive way, and I really appreciate that.
If you missed the event, there's no need to worry. You'll be able to stream G20 on Prime Video starting today. Trouble in the stables? Concerns are growing around Hampton University's Equestrian Club, and members are speaking out. Our reporter, Kennedy Scales, has the story for you.
I'm here in Gloucester County, where the Hampton University Equestrian Club now comes to practice after being placed on restrictions at their own campus barn.
A lack of support and guidance has left the Hampton University Equestrian Club in a tough spot after the university issued a cease and desist for participating in an unapproved mental wellness event.
Unfortunately, there's still a lot of structural issues on who to go to for certain approvals, certain authorities and things like that.
A lot of people tell us, a lot of administration tell us what we can't do, but they never tell us what we can do, or if they say we're not doing this right, they don't have the right way of what we do.
Jordan Terry, president of the Equestrian Club, says that the university has failed to provide the students with the proper guidance and support.
For example, at the wellness event, when we got initially put on cease and desist, we thought that we had all of the proper approvals, but we didn't. And once we asked, so how do we get those proper approvals, nobody gave me an answer.
And until things are resolved, Equestrian Club members will have to pay hundreds of dollars out of pocket and drive an hour away from campus to Gloucester County just for horseback riding lessons.
My bill last month was actually $749.
But the cease and desist is the last of their concerns, as the Hampton University Equestrian Barn faces much larger issues. Jonathan James posted a video on Instagram revealing shocking details about the health concerns affecting their horses.
The academic year began with health concerns among some of our horses. One of our horses, Ruby, was diagnosed with the lipoma tumor, which could have been addressed through surgery. Another, Dakota, was diagnosed with EPM, a treatable neurological disease. Additionally, out of the 9 horses in our program, only 5 are rideable. due to pre-existing conditions from the time of their purchase by the university.
The unfortunate loss of these horses, including James's closest companion, Ruby, has taken a toll on his mental health.
I felt kind of numb. I was shaking, like I was crying. Like, I called my mom, like crying, bawling. But yeah, like even now, I still miss her every day.
James says Hampton University may be heading in the wrong direction when it comes to how the horses are treated. He hopes the university never fully falls into a pattern of neglect and lack of appreciation. According to Arizona State for problem-oriented policing, neglect is the most common form of animal mistreatment. It happens when an owner fails to provide proper food, water, shelter, or medical care.
I see how many horses are mistreated around the world, and it's like I can kind of start seeing that with Hampton off the way we're going right now. I wish that they kind of like took more care of them or like acknowledge them more.
The equestrian club says that their main focus right now is to have healthier horses and to be able to enjoy riding them at their home by the sea. In Gloucester County, Kennedy Scales, WHOV-TV.
WHOV-TV reached out to Hampton University administration on comment for the story, but has not yet heard back. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at WHOV-TV for any updates.
This week has been puzzling. The Greer Dawson Wilson Student Leadership Training Program hosted their annual SLP Week. The theme for the week is Jigsaw, putting a twist on task for program applicants. 2 members of SLP shared their experiences in the program and the impact it's had on their time at Hampton.
Incoming applicants. I spoke with 2 members of SLP about their experiences in the program and the impact it's had on their time at Hampton.
SLP, well, the abbreviation stands for Student Leadership Program, but the full name of the program is the Greer Dawson Wilson Student Leadership Training Program. And it's just a group of students on campus who just help to mentor freshmen, and they throw different events and activities on campus to like help the students love to stay at Hampton and like give them a reason to stay here.
What inspired me to join is honestly like I see the connection they have within this community. SLP does a lot for the school, and that's something I always wanted to be a part of. And also, like, SLP was the first org I joined on campus, so I waited my whole freshman year to get involved, so yeah.
To stay up to date with SLP, follow them on Instagram at Greer_SLP.
To stay up to date with SLP, follow them on Instagram at Greer_SLP.
Calling all student writers, Hampton University's student newspaper, the Hampton Script, is hiring for the 2025-26 academic year. The Script is looking for a web editor, an associate editor, and staff writers. The Hampton Script has been active since 1928 and has sections in entertainment, campus, local and world sports, and opinion. To apply, learn more, or contact the newspaper at hamptonscript@gmail.com. Well, Hampton University's Mosaic will host its 3rd annual ball tomorrow, themed Night of the Elements. The ball will take place in the Student Center ballroom from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Today was the last day to buy tickets, but don't worry, tickets will be sold at the door for $12. Attendees can look forward to, quote, stepping into a world where the forces of nature awaken. The night's theme will be filled with earthly elements combined with elegance, and for more information, you can visit Mosaic Hampton U on Instagram.
To the young black men of Hampton University, you matter. On Wednesday, the Student Counseling Center hosted a men's mental health brunch, creating a safe space for young men to release, recharge, and reinvent what mental health means to all students.
I feel like we speak about women's mental health. We do have our She Care Wellness pods across campus, but I definitely believe that panel was very influential and important for the men on Hampton University's campus.
For more events like this, visit HamptonU_Counseling Center on Instagram.
It's not often a young student makes history, but for Javian Dorsey, he did more than just that. Our reporter, Ariana Askew, has the story.
This week's Student Spotlight is focused on Javian Dorsey, a graduating senior who after 7 years crossed as the only member of the Beta chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
Being the only person, I was right after that really big line of alphas, so it was like going right after, so the crowd was very energetic to say the least, so I didn't really think I was going to be able to like do it, but then I did it, so I was like, okay, cool. So it was just a really good experience overall. My family, they made it very, very clear that this is not something that was an option. I was doing it, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like if you were going to cross iota, it was more, so when are you crossing?
His family's urgency stems from the late Elias Dorsey Jr., a founding member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated and Javian's very own grandfather. Dorsey has received overwhelming amounts of on-campus and media support following his probate, and he has even been featured on social media accounts such as Watch the Yard. Away from the scene, Dorsey is a member of the ACE program and Political Science Club and likes to spend his personal time in the campus museum. He also frequently connects with his fraternity brother Winston Williams, who is a part of the Delta chapter at Norfolk State. Dorsey has a large vision for his future and plans to make it happen after he graduates.
Well, coming up next.
Former President Obama expresses concerns for the future of America.
And Vice President Kamala Harris hosts her first speech in months.
Stay with us.
All right. Welcome back. According to ABC, 6 people on board a helicopter were killed Thursday afternoon. The helicopter plunged into the Hudson River by Lower Manhattan in New York City. The chopper was in the air for 15 minutes before the crash, and law enforcement says there were 3 children and 2 adults on board. Sources say the family members were tourists from Spain. This is an updating story. Our hearts and minds are with those affected.
The city of Hampton has joined the nationwide hands-off movement in protest of President Donald Trump. 13 News Now reports that last Saturday, protesters gathered with the Hampton branch of the NAACP to make their voices heard. Gayleen Knoitzen, president of the Hampton chapter, told 13 News Now that the purpose of the demonstration is, quote, to protect diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Protesters have come together all over the Hampton Roads area with over 1,200 gathering in Norfolk. The Philadelphia Zoo is preparing a celebration for the naming of their 4 new tortoises. Last Saturday, the 97-year-old mother tortoise welcomed her 4 hatchlings. The Western Santa Cruz Galapagos are an endangered species. This is the first in over 150 years that the zoo hatched them. The first-time mother tortoise is the zoo's oldest resident, living in Philadelphia for the past 9 decades. All 4 hatchlings are female and are set to be named by the public on April 23rd, which is also the 93rd anniversary of the mother's arrival at the zoo. Pirates, there's a lot going on in the world. HU, let's get federal.
The U.S. House passed a bill that voting rights groups argue will make it harder for Americans to vote. The SAVE Act, sponsored by Republican Congressman Chip Roy, was approved today in a 220 to 208 vote. It will require Americans to prove of citizenship during registration for federal elections. President Trump and House Republicans argue the bill is needed to stop non-U.S. citizens from voting, but the ACLU warns the SAVE Act could disfranchise first-time voters, voters of color, married women, and more. The bill now heads to the U.S. Senate and the President before it takes effect. President Trump has announced a 90-day pause on his tariff war with dozens of countries. But this does not include China. Instead, he doubles down, placing a 125% tax on them. Critics worry that Trump's tariffs on imported goods may cause a recession in the U.S. The goal of these tariffs is to lower trade barriers, grow public income, and increase U.S. manufacturing. But the only thing it's increasing the cost for businesses and consumers. According to J.P. Morgan, the potential for recession by the end of the year went from 40 to 60%. Look out for higher prices from retailers like Best Buy and Nike. President Barack Obama expressed his concern for democracy in a speech at Hamilton College.
I'm more deeply concerned with a federal government that threatens universities if they don't give up students who are exercising their right to free speech.
From the economy to barring certain news stations from the press court, Obama says that it is up to us to protect the land we call home.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris delivered an impactful speech at the Leading Women Defined Summit in California. The conference was held last week. It focused on sisterhood, political engagement, and the power of community. The speech was the first time Harris has spoken publicly in months. She encourages people to not give up in the face of fear.
Understanding our power in the democracy we still have if we hold on to it. Courage is contagious.
Harris reminds America she will remain politically active and is here to stay. TikTok, we won't stop, at least for right now. The impending ban on TikTok has been lifted yet again. The app was supposed to go dark this past Saturday, but has now been extended. Users will now be able to scroll until June 19th. President Donald Trump took to X saying he has no choice but to save TikTok, according to the USA Today. The Trump administration will use this 75-day delay to persuade ByteDance, the app's owner, to sell its stake. Everyone is safe to renegade another day. Coming up, our forecaster shares the latest with the weather.
We'll have more for you after this break.
Stay with us.
Hey Pirates, I'm Ariel Cole, your weather forecaster for tonight, and I'm keeping you one step ahead of the weather. Just when we thought we were finally getting some heat, Mother Nature pulled a fast one. Today's high hit 60 degrees with the low dropping to 44 degrees. It's cool out, so keep a jacket handy. Luckily, the pollen count is low this weekend, and unfortunately, it will be high starting on Monday. Get ready because tomorrow's forecast calls for more rain. It'll start early and spill right into the weekend. Friday's temperatures is a high of 60 and a low of 51. Be sure to keep your umbrella and your rain boots close by. Saturday brings some light rain and cloudy skies with temperatures sticking around a low of 47 and a high of 51. But hey Pirates, at least the rain's helping with the pollen count. Sunday will be mostly cloudy with the low of 45 and a high of 60. So again, keep your jackets close by and stay cozy. Monday's forecast is looking much better with the low of 50 and a high of 72. Tuesday will be even warmer with lows around 54 and highs reaching 67. But don't get too comfortable, Pirates. On Wednesday, the sun's expected to make a comeback in the afternoon. It's still going to be chilly with the low of 45 and a high of 60. Keep your eyes to the skies, Pirates. You don't want to miss the light show. The Lyrid meteor shower will be active this month from April 16th to April 25th. It will be the most active around the 22nd of April. The best times to watch a meteor shower is between midnight and pre-dawn. So get ready, grab a blanket, sit back, and enjoy the incoming meteor showers. Pirates, that's all for you tonight. We hope to see you next week, hopefully with some warmer weather. Back to you, Lathan.
Thank you. Next up,
John Morant is in the spotlight again, not for the good reasons.
Find out more after this break.
What's up, Pirates? I'm Nina Washington, your go-to anchor for sports this evening. It's time to dive into another action-packed weekly roundup. Let's get the ball rolling. Our sailing team truly navigated their way through the waters as they came in 4th place at the 2025 Azalea Bowl in North Carolina. And our women's softball team knocked it out the park as they won their game against Towson University 12-7. The women's tennis team secured a victory against North Carolina A&T 5-2, and then dominated the courts once again at Virginia State University 4-0. And it was all gas, no brakes for our men's tennis team as they powered their way to a 4-0 victory over Virginia State University. Looks like it's been a great week of wins for our Pirates. Hampton Athletics is hosting the annual Family Weekend, April 25th to April 27th. There will be food, tailgates, giveaways, but most importantly, games and free admission. Watch our football team's blue and white scrimmage on Saturday, and our softball team will compete the entire weekend, ending with their senior night on Sunday. Nets have been notched and championships have been crowned as the college basketball season comes to a close. The NCAA Final Four games were played this past weekend, and we found an upset in Houston. Defeated #1 Duke University, and the ladies of South Carolina defeated Texas. And let's move on to Championship Sunday. Paige Beckers went out with a bang, leading her UConn Huskies to a lopsided 82-59 win over South Carolina. On the men's side, the Florida Gators came back to a steal of a nail-biter game against the University of Houston, 65-63 on Monday. Memphis star Ja Morant got fined again. $75,000 are now down the drain, as Morant threw up a finger guns as the celebration. This comes to no surprise, seeing as he got fined for flashing a gun on Instagram Live on 2 separate occasions. Due to that situation, he was suspended for 25 games after the incident, but he debuted a new celebration on Tuesday. Morant pretended to throw a grenade at the crowd after scoring a 3-pointer against the Charlotte Hornets. The NBA will look into a possible punishment for Morant once again. Well, that's all for sports this evening, Pirates. Back to you, Lathan and B.
Coming up, gamers are outraged with Nintendo.
And the new Met Gala theme is announced.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
I don't know what it's going to look like.
I'm Ariana Askew, your entertainment anchor for tonight. Let's get into these hot topics. As long as I got my suit and tie, I am ready for the Met Gala's new fashion exhibit coming in May. This year's exhibit showcase is Super Fine Tailoring Black Style. The exhibit explores the history of Black fashion within the 18th and 20th century contemporary lenses. Celebrities visited the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costumes Institute in New York for an exclusive look. Co-chairs such as Pharrell Williams, LeBron James, and A$AP Rocky will be in attendance. The exhibit will be open to the public from May 10th to October 26th. Ready, set, go. Nintendo is coming out with a brand new console. The Nintendo Switch 2 is advertised as bigger, better, faster, and new features to explore. US and Canadian pre-orders have been delayed due to President Trump's tariff policy, which may affect the sales by at least 50%. In a release statement, Nintendo assures that the launch date of June 5th remains unchanged. Stay on the lookout for pre-order dates to be revealed. J. Cole said it best, "I put my city on the map, but let me tell you about it." Dreamville Fest has come to an end after 5 years. When it first started in 2019, J. Cole said it was a love letter to North Carolina. Ending with the last festival last weekend, J. Cole hints at new changes in his goodbye. There were performances from artists like Lil Wayne, 21 Savage, Erykah Badu, and the main event himself, J. Cole. There are new plans for a new event to take place in the venue, so fans, stay alert.
Y'all for making Dreamville Festival a massive success every year, you know what I mean? I'm sad, but we will be back just in a newer form.
That's all I have for you tonight, Pirates. I'm Ariana Askew. Back to Lathan and BL.
Thanks, Ariana. Well, Pirates, that's all the news we have for you tonight.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at WHOV-TV.
Join us next week for our senior show.
Good night.